Hello and welcome. To all the researchers in applied linguistics and education, this one's for you. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating study that addresses a huge gap in the field. How can we use AI to teach Arabic? Not to beginners, but to native speakers already in higher education. It's a fresh and much-needed perspective. All right, first things first. For those of you who want to reference this work, and I suspect many of you will, here are the full publication details for the paper. As you can see, it's a very recent article from the Forum for Linguistic Studies. And to make it as easy as possible for you to build on this research, you'll find a link to download the full paper and its APA citation. Now, this is a Scopus indexed article, which, as you know, means citing it can add some serious weight and credibility to your own studies. So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with what makes this study so groundbreaking and the research gap it fills. Then, we'll get into the weeds of the app's methodology, look at the actual survey data, and finish up with the paper's big recommendations for the future. Okay, so let's get right into it and understand what makes this particular study so important. At its heart, this research is all about one thing, looking at how a smartphone app called Arabic is My Language uses AI to help native Arabic speakers at the university level improve their own language skills. This isn't just about using fancy new tech, it's about making education relevant for today's world. Now, that goal didn't just come out of nowhere. It directly tackles a major, and I mean major, problem in the field. So let's talk about the why. Why was this research so badly needed? This is the very question the authors ask themselves. What problem, what hole in the current academic and tech landscape were they trying to plug? And the answer they found is, well, it's pretty stark. The paper states, and I'm quoting here, that the entire field of digital learning is devoid of a single app dedicated to teaching Arabic to native speakers. Think about that. Not one. You see, when the researchers looked at the existing app market, they saw a few big problems. Almost every app out there is for people who don't speak Arabic or for very young kids. On top of that, many are made without any real academic input. And here's the kicker, they mostly just test you. They don't actually teach. And that's exactly where this case study comes into play. The paper does a deep dive into the Arabic is My Language app to figure out how a tool can be built the right way to fill this massive void. So how is this app designed? Well, it's built around 4 core pillars. You've got competitions organized by difficulty level and by specific topics. There's a placement test to see where you're starting from. And then there's the most innovative piece, virtual classrooms. Now, this virtual classroom feature is a real game changer. It's not just a tool for the student. It creates a whole learning ecosystem. The teacher can bring their students in, see incredibly detailed reports, and pinpoint exactly where each person is excelling or struggling. And for the student, they get a tool that's a direct part of their coursework, helping them engage with the material in a whole new way. But what makes this so much more than a quiz app is the scientific learning cycle built into its DNA. It's brilliant. First, it tells you what you're supposed to learn. Then, it gives you a quick overview of the topic. Right after, it tests you with a question. You get instant feedback, and this part is so important, if you get it wrong, the question goes into a personalized treatment plan so you can try again and actually master the concept. Okay, so the methodology sounds great on paper, right? But the real question is, does it actually work in the real world? To find out, the researchers surveyed university students who were actively using the app. Before we even get into what the students said, let's talk about the quality of the survey itself. It achieved a Cronbach's alpha of 0.896. Now, for all the researchers tuning in, you know that's a fantastic score. It means the results are highly consistent and statistically reliable. And where did this super reliable data come from? It was gathered from a group of 43 students at Al Yamama University in Riyadh, all of whom were using the app as part of their Arabic courses. The feedback they got was frankly incredible. The agreement rates were through the roof. A full 100% of students said they benefited from the app, 100% appreciated that it used formal Arabic and had 0 ads, and critically, over 95% of them felt that the app followed a clear scientific methodology, which just validates its entire design philosophy. Now, based on this powerful analysis and such strong findings, the authors didn't just stop there. They used this research to propose a clear way forward for the entire field of digital language education. What's really great here is that the paper provides an actual roadmap. It's not vague. The authors call for real institutional support and funding for these kinds of apps. They stress the need for training workshops so teachers feel comfortable using them. They recommend future apps incorporate all four language skills. And they even suggest expanding this AI-driven approach to other fields, all while making sure the content stays current. And that brings us to the end of our breakdown of this really important study. And just one last reminder, if you want to explore this topic further, the full paper and citation are right there for you to download and use in your own work. So we'll leave you with this final thought that the paper so brilliantly brings to light. It demonstrates a successful marriage of technology and pedagogy. And it really makes you think, as AI becomes more and more a part of education, how do we, as researchers, educators, and developers, make sure that sound educational principles are always the ones in the driver's seat? Thanks so much for joining me.